Greetings, greetings, greetings. I want to say a good evening to all those folks who are actually connecting with us right now. You're listening to Healthy Blood, Healthy Bodies, and that's sponsored by Health Max Wellness Center. And my name is Max O'Carey, and I am your host for tonight. And we had a lot of great fun last night when we had our show at 7:30. And for the rest of the week, we are going to be at 6:30. And until the weekend, we're definitely going to be on 5 o'clock for the weekend. And I'm talking about 5 p.m. So I am glad that we have the opportunity to actually create transformation for this generation and the generation to come. And I think that we can create that level of transformation right now. So, yesterday we were actually touching on something very special, which is the 12 system. And some people already calling me, telling me that about the story relating to grandma, grandma Ana Luisa. And again, the fact that she was on point knowing about hibiscus. And a good shout out to Dr. Burgers that's talking about how 20 years ago he started using herbs, and a lot of times people had to do that. And that's the reason why we can create that transformation. There are people that are pioneers who have to made it a commitment to really start using things that's been there forever. And you know that I always say that you get the authority. You could find it in Genesis 1:29. And for those probably that do not have their word, I could quickly say it for you. It says, "And God said," and that's a different version, okay? "See, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be food for food." So understand the fact that we've already know that, and understand it keeps on talking about seed, so we can create a level of transformation. Now I want to let you know that I'm also on 9 platforms. So not only we are on AM 1490 WMBM. We also are on 4 different platforms on Facebook, 2 different platforms on YouTube, and we already have somebody that's actually saying nous tous haïtiens. So that is so funny. I want to let you know that you can create that level of transformation. Of course, Twitch and also Twitter. So I am so glad that we have the ability to create transformation right now. And it is important to understand there are powerful nutrients that our Creator has made available to reverse every disease. That's a bold statement to understand that. And that's the reason why we're bringing that information so that you can try it for yourself. Now, you will hear me speak a little bit quickly about the 8 laws of health. And if you want to have access to me, you can always call 305-407-9227, 305-407-9227, and you can have access to us. You will notice that I will be using a book that's been around for quite some time, but there's a lot of people that still did not know about that book. It's been around since the 1900s, early 1900s. It's called Counsel on Diet and Food. The first 15 people who call 305-407-9227, I want to let you know that I'm covering even the shipping for you. So you'll get it at no cost. So it's important that you actually call 305-407-9227. And there are people that love to do the good old fashioned system, which is meeting people face to face. I'd like to know who I'm dealing with. Yes, you can do that. 855 Northeast 125th Street. I'm local. North Miami, Florida, 33161. If you want to send us a card, information request, we can actually really do that. And some people have sent love offering. So I am so glad I do have your info for one of our first caller, and I will reach out to you as soon as possible so that you can actually get that book up. Okay, so there are people who actually want to email me. You can do that at docnaturel@gmail.com, which is DOCNATUREL@gmail.com. That's important that you have that information, because probably you want to send me your blood work. We can take a look at that and see what's a better nutrition plan that you can follow, what type of stuff that you can follow. So you will notice in a little bit later, I'm going to be speaking about cascara sagrada, beetroots, ACS, 3Bs, alfalfa. These herbs are known as the body management system. And you'll understand why I talk about that. Understand that, guys, this book is only 15 bucks. And what am I doing? I'm giving the first 15 callers. So we have 14 more left, the opportunity to having a book that can make a difference. Now, I've heard before that not everybody loves to read. I get that. Understand the very fact that we have that privilege to actually really get that information, it makes sense, because it's not just I hear. People always say, I hear, they say. No, you can make a reference. The book says, then you can have a stronger resolve, understanding where you actually got that information. Now, it is very important that I share all this with you, so that before I actually go a little bit further in my on our topic today. So, as I mentioned before to you, that the 8 laws of health, all it is nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, trust in divine creator. Again, nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, trust in divine creator. This is what we call the 8 laws of health. So when we talk about nutrition, what are we talking about? You want to be able to get what we say, there's over 90 nutrients that's available between vitamins, minerals, essential fats, amino acid. All these things are important to actually really connect to, because they give you access to a very balanced life. And if you're eating your food, you want to have 2/3 alkaline, 1/3 acidic. All these things work. Now, you may say, what do you mean by alkaline? Okay, let's say that you want to do raw food. It could be carrots, it could be cabbage, an example. And if you're into fish, you could do fish. So, 2 food that is raw, 1 that is cooked. So, the raw food is also classified, it's automatically classified as what we call the alkaline portion, and the cooked food is the acidic portion. Now, there's a chart for that. If you want to have access to that, again, you can always call 305-407-9227. We can send that information to you, or we could text it to you if you'd like. We can give you that info. It is so important, especially nowadays, for our people to actually have access to information that's causing transformation for this generation and the generation to come. Now, when we say exercise, a lot of times people think that you got to go to the gym every day. 3 times a week, if you're doing 20 minutes, very good walking, you can actually do that. Some people, they may not be able to walk, but they can do isometric exercise. There's so many different ways to actually move around. Now, for those who are still in confinement, who are still at home, and that's what a lot of people are actually saying, understand this. This pandemic has created a big havoc in so many people's lives that families are afraid to even get out still today. Do you understand why? This is why the Bible says, my people are perishing for lack of knowledge. And that's the reason why I got it, that you probably won't see a YouTube live or somebody send you some stuff on WhatsApp. But I just got to tell you, if you've been listening to all the great gospel songs that MJ is really, I was jamming as I was coming in. I'm telling you, I'm like, man, this thing is so good. I feel like actually bringing like kind of like a RV and then stay closer, just so that I can get, I'm taking notes. I'm like, okay, should I play this? Should I play that? Stuff that you probably didn't even hear about, but I like it. So especially the way we ended yesterday. So all these things are songs that I jam to, that I pray to, and it's important where you have music. So we know that there's 17 minutes left. Let me just get going, okay? Now, the next thing that's important, we talk about water. A lot of times people are wondering, what water should you drink? Well, the very good old-fashioned, I would say naturalists or herbalists always say spring water. Right now, you might notice that there's been a big increase on people drinking alkaline water. Well, the reason why because we're in a society that's so deficient and very acidic. So that's one of the reasons that a lot of people went for alkaline machines. Well, again, as I said, usually the good old herbalist will tell you stick to what? Stick to what we call the spring water. But if you are very sick, you may want to indulge or get into an alkaline water type just to actually assist you. The way that our creator made us to really alkaline our body is through food. All right. So that's why it's good to have a juicer. Again, if you're attending, let's say your physician or possibly a natural doctor, and they haven't told you to buy a juicer yet, you want to really, as quick as possible, get yourself a juicer. They're not that expensive nowadays. And if you properly take care of it, that's like having a natural clinic in your house. And you don't have to mix in a bunch of stuff together. Start something very simple. Some people, they think that they have to do more. It's really less is more when you're actually doing that, because a lot of folks, as we're getting more older, our digestive system is not working properly. Now, we hear sunshine. We're great that we're in the sunshine state. For the most part, you want to get your 20 minutes in because it helps melt what we call the cholesterol crystals to have it turn into vitamin D3. And of course, temperance. I know some folks that's been working like 3, 4, 5 jobs. I don't know how they do it. They go from one, they walk to the other. It's like, Max, I got like 3 jobs in the same location. I was like, don't they notice you snooze or you're not operating? He says, nah, I'm forever taking stuff to stimulate me. I just let them know. Eventually, you're going to give up the ghost because temperance is important. Yes, you got stuff to handle. Yes, there's important stuff to handle. Yes, you are sacrificing. And again, you are sacrificing yourself. And you may not stick around long enough to see the fruit of your labor. And of course, there's air. You want to do the natural air. I know that there are people who work long periods of time inside a facility. Do your best to get out and get that natural air, because if you're only getting the inside, you're not getting a complete full spectrum of air. And that's why if you're doing that, you might want to add a little mint to your water, so that I call it fancy water, just so that it can keep having oxygen go through your bloodstream. Now, rest. This is something I recently started really obeying because I never liked to do that. Rest is important. I never thought, that I would make rest one of the prime thing for me. And when you rest, this is the only time that your body is really improving, regenerating, and really having your mind be clear. And that's how there are certain parts of your body, it functions better. And of course, there's also what we call trust in divine creator. A lot of times people, when they hear those 8 laws of health, they can hear new start. Some people said that it should have been the other way around. Trust in divine creator should have been first. We get that. So we just want to have that acronym to understand new start. You can do that literally every day. Imagine you're walking, you're drinking your natural juice or your water, getting your exercise in, and you're probably in the sun. You're accomplishing 4 to 5 different things by actually doing that to begin with. So these are not things that you need a whole lot of equipment for. You can actually really get that done. All right, so let's switch over. Now, for those who actually want to support the show, do not hesitate. You can actually do that. Some people have gone to PayPal, that me/HealthMax. Some people do Cash App with the $ Max Carry, and also my good old Zelle, which is 954-638-2678. That's how you can actually Zelle us. I want to say a good thanks to Healing Hands Massage by Carol. That young lady have literally healing hands. I had inflammation all around. And thank God, I mean, I'm on my probably 15 month of doing weekly. But what made a huge difference to me is when I increased my sessions to 3 times a week, where literally now I can move. I could play ball with my kids and not having to hold my back. Say my back, that's the way to to have them slow down and take it easy on you. Well, I just want to let you know, I don't have to do that anymore. I could play soccer with my kids, and They don't have to experience me complaining about pain and aches and all that. When I increased that for a month, there's something called rehab massage. She did it. If you want to get in contact with her, 754-215-6393. 754-215-6393. 754-215-6393. Okay, let's jump into what matters for me right now. And I think that you will actually love what we got going on for you today. All right, for all my folks who are actually online, I will give you the opportunity to see this very well. So we're going to do a quick review. And for all my folks who are actually following, and the quick review is very simple. We spoke about circulatory system, which is a system that's really important. It consists of heart, blood, arteries, veins, capillaries. The primary pump, it primarily pumps blood to and from the heart to supply oxygen to the body. So that's one of the aspects of the body that's really important. And I talked about cayenne pepper. If you can put cayenne pepper in your food, or let's say you're already experiencing cramp, you could put a little teaspoon or half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You mix it in a little water or 16 ounce of water. You drink it immediately before you eat. Not just drink it and keep it there. I took 500 milligrams today of cayenne pepper. When I took it, I knew it went in, and it gives you that ability for the blood to circulate in all the right parts. Digestive system, we talked about that as well. How it includes mouth, esophagus, stomach, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, small and large intestine, and rectum. It allows the body to break down and absorb food and remove waste, which is important. This is one reason I like to talk about that, but that's usually a family issue. If you're not removing waste, the remaining of waste, what it does, it gets reabsorbed in your body and become toxic. And that's why a lot of times people are dealing with a whole lot of stuff. I've known people who told me that they haven't used the restroom for over a month. And that's ridiculous. And people do not realize how much of a trouble that is. It creates massive issues. Now, for all those who are actually connecting, you're probably driving and you want to make sure you keep that number, definitely do so. Again, it's 305-407-9227, 305-407-9227. You can, yes, definitely be in connection with us. Now, we will touch about some herbs that actually help relieve and really handle that process. So we left off at endocrine system. The endocrine system is a collection of glands that secretes hormones into the blood, which regulates growth, development, and homeostasis, the regulation of the body's temperature, and the balance between acidity and alkalinity. So we talked about the pH. This is one of the reasons why it's important that you check your pH. You could even do it on a weekly. There are people who are going through treatment. When the person is going through treatment, they end up having to do what? They end up having to connect with so many, how can I say that? If you're going through treatment, you may have to do it daily, but weekly is okay, monthly is okay, just to see where your body's at. A lot of times people don't realize how much power and the importance of actually really doing that. When you know where your body stands, it gives you access that you never thought you would have before. A lot of food gets absorbed better when your body is very well balanced between alkalinity and acidity. So let's talk about immune system, which is one of the hot topic for the past, since I would say towards the end of 2019, that's been a hot topic. Immune system is the body's defense against agents such as bacteria, viruses. It includes the lymph nodes, spleen, bone marrow, white blood cell, among others. Now, what are we talking about that? The immune system is so important, especially nowadays, for what so many people are actually dealing with. And I am going to take the time a little later, since we got 7 minutes left, to give you some herbs. And I like to give the names. I'll tell you why. Not all herbs are made alike. So you want to really connect with a great company And to be able to do that, you can connect with me. I'll let you know what's out there that's usually good, and I can make some personal recommendation. Now, I really want you to really consider getting that book, because that book gives you access and you'll be able to understand the difference between synthetic vitamin, which I plan on doing that show with you. Again, remember, you got me 365. So you will be hearing from me every day. So I am going to make sure I bring these information to you. We have information on digestion, synthetic vitamin, how to read labels, all that information. We have that for you. And that's the reason why we are actually making this show, so that you can have access to information that's causing transformation for this generation and the generation to come. Now, we talked about the immune system. The immune system is really important. A lot of times, as you see, one of the main reasons that the pandemic struck us so hard is because a lot of people already had a lot of pre-existing condition, and some people were not actually living in a way where their body would have been solid. Now, here's what happens. People say, well, I know people who are literally healthy and they're no longer there. Well, a lot of times people, they decide healthy relating to what they see on the outside. You never know what stuff that the person was dealing with, because it's not written in their face. You never went to that person's results. And that's the reason why it is so important to protect yourself, protect that body, the temple of the Holy Ghost. You want to protect that, and having your body have all the nutrients that it needs, and using all the right hygiene process, so that you can keep yourself away from a lot of these nonsense. Now, I want to share that. That's important. Now, the next segment system is the integumentary system. So we're talking about skin. It also includes hair, nails. It provides protection against the outside world. A lot of people, that they do not understand. This is one of the biggest part of our body. So when we talk about the seventh channel of elimination, one of the seven channel of elimination is the skin. And when a person is taking something that's not able to go through the regular routes, like urine or defecation, it has to come out to what? To your skin. That's why sometimes people who are doing certain type of combination, not knowing exactly what to do, they usually hurt themselves. That's why we will say you want to follow somebody that actually knows and that's certified in the material to actually help you out. Now, again, we do know knowledge hasn't said knowledge has increased, so you can go online and look at certain things. It's always good. It doesn't cost you much, but to actually consult a healthcare practitioner that can actually help. So let me give you a few of herbs that you might have heard of and might not have heard of. I heard Dr. Burgess I had mentioned one, which is echinacea. That's one for immune system. There's Siberian ginseng, Korean ginseng, white willow, and we already said echinacea, spicelium hull. There are also one of the good old garlic. You'll be surprised. You know, there are some people, they don't do nothing without having garlic involved in anything that they're doing. It's like it has to be the primary stuff. So with my 3 minutes left, I want to quickly talk again about, and we'll catch on tomorrow with lymphatics and muscular system. I just want to make sure I get through the systems, because it's important that you can create transformation for yourself. Now, I want to also take the time real quick to give a good shout out to my friend, I would say my life and wealth advisor, and to be able to really secure the next generation, create a legacy for your family, is Natalie Hayden. You can reach her at 954-951-0240, 954-951-0240. A quick shout out to the Chamber of Commerce. If you ever want to get some land out in the Caribbean or somewhere where you want to actually jump into agriculture, definitely reach out. 954-638-8321, 954-638-8321. So this is it. I've actually giving you all the info about some of my supporters, people who are actually wanting to see this show really to create massive transformation. So let's go back to my good old friend, this book, okay? If for a reason or another you actually had gotten this book through us and you viewed it and you notice within the first few pages you didn't learn something new, full refund. It's important because you will see the difference. You will see the difference that it actually does in your life when you start applying it. When I was going through the part where it talks about fruits and veggies and things of that sort, and these are stuff that some people have heard, but not knowing really for sure if it works. Imagine that as you're eating, you having, let's say, your veggies, right? And then for those who actually eat meat and or fish, you can have your side of that. Two side of alkaline. Remember, two side of alkaline, one side acidic. When you have two raw food, one cook, two raw, one cook. When you do that, what it does, it releases what we call the digestive enzymes on top of what your body already has from chewing, and it allows you to digest better. Your mind is clearer, and it keeps you going. I think that definitely is my time right now, folks. Remember, reach out to me, 305-407-9227, 305-407-9227. I am so glad I was able to be live with you, the AM 1490 WMBM. So long. Bye-bye, guy.